Welcome to the KYP podcast. My name is Dany. These are my co-hosts.
Kevin.
James.
But it was actually funny. I think the origin of it, because I know, Jay, you had your own clothing brand and your own stuff on the side. What made you want to start a podcast? Because I know you and Kevin approached me with that idea at first.
Wow. So, okay, we're going there.
Yeah. Get ready, baby.
It's a big story. We love to tell it, especially Kevin.
It's been a while.
So, it was about, I would say, 6 months ago. Kevin approached me. He wanted to talk. We had a drink. We smoked a little bit, and we just had a conversation. And he basically told me that he quit law school. And if you know Kevin, or I know Kevin my whole life since elementary school. And I remember him, and we went to the same school, same college. I remember him studying day in, day out. Every time it was midterm or exam season, I would never see this guy. We would play basketball, obviously, we would have fun. But when it came down to the taxes, or wait, what do you call it? When it came down to the work, I never saw him. He was a ghost. So when he told me he quit law school, it was incredibly shocking to me.
Yeah, big news.
Because all summer last year, he was studying for the exam. And when he told me the news, I was quite shocked. But it made sense when he told me why. And I feel like Kevin would do it justice by explaining his reasoning behind, quitting law school, changing careers. So tell the viewers, man. Tell us.
You're definitely gassing me up there, making me look like a straight A student. Not far from the truth, but not entirely. Basically, ever since I was a young kid, as long as I could remember, my parents, my father in particular, had a vision for both his kids. I'm the younger one. I have an older brother, and that was for them to, become lawyers, right? Go to law school, become corporate lawyers. My brother, his occupation right now is a corporate lawyer in Hong Kong. So
Sheesh.
One of us made it. But for me, everything I did up to that point in school, the reason why I was grinding so hard and, during exam season, you wouldn't see me is because, I really bought into this goal. But I bought into it for the wrong reasons. If I'm encountered, I didn't go to law school yet. I was applying, I did my LSATs, and in the process of applying, they make you reflect on why you want to be a lawyer, right? In your cover letters, preparing for interviews and stuff like that. And, every time I sat down to do that exercise, those types of exercises, when it boiled down to it, it's like, I like the prestige. I like the money, the lifestyle that it can provide you. But most of all, because, my dad really, really wants me to do it. And I want to make him proud, make my family proud for all the sacrifices they've made as first generation immigrants coming here from, China, communist China back then. But it's been a struggle my whole life because that's not my personality. Anybody who knows me is I'm the life of the party, wild kid, does not look like a lawyer. But because I care so much about, making my parents proud and stuff, it was hard for me to let them know that. But basically I was really depressed, very deep in all types of escapism. Be it drinking, dating, YouTube, anything, right? And so that pushed me to a wall. And, when I got to that lowest point, I was faced with a decision, right? Do something, face your fears, face your father, and make a change, make a huge change, or, accept your fate and be an unhappy law school student, lawyer for probably the rest of my life. And I chose the former. And now we're here.
So you did this whole journey of going to school. So when you're telling me the reasons of why you were doing law school, it seemed like none of those reasons.
Yeah.
You didn't say I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
You said it was for somebody else.
Yeah.
It was for materialism.
Yeah.
You said it was for your parents.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see that all those reasons wasn't any of it
External.
was not for yourself. And that's what makes, people unhappy. It's like they're doing things for other people.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And now the connection, the Kevin, James, Dany connection right there, I think is where the connection happens. And so during that tough time, I felt like James was one of my only friends who would really understand this struggle I'm going through, because he's always been, someone who's not scared to explore his passion and be himself from a young age.
Yeah. So I've been doing it, like I said, for over 5 years. I was always the kid that wasn't studying and that was always on YouTube. And I was filming myself dancing in my room. I just wanted clout from a very, very, very young age, and it's just the actor in me. My dad wanted to be an actor when he was a kid. It's just in my bloodline. It's just something that I want to be doing something other than school. So, but that's how I met Dany, actually, because let alone I met a guy that was doing the same exact thing from a young age. So tell him, baby, tell him.
I think for me, I just basically started Instagram for fun. I remember back in the days, I think what really started it was 2014. 2014 was that period of time where I discovered Kingsman,
Oh,
first Kingsman. And so I
Inspo.
looked at the guy wearing a double-breasted suit, beating people's asses, guns, knives, not that many girls, but kicking ass at the end of the day. And it's not like you think of a guy in a suit now, right? You think of 007, but 007, womanizer, killer. You look at anything else, John Wick, pure killer, still dressed well,
Loves dogs.
loves dogs.
and loves dog. But in no way, shape, or form have you seen a main character that takes care of his appearance because it's who they present themselves as. So they are, yes, international agents, but they themselves are dressed to impress. And so that mentality really kind of kicked in. So I started Instagram around that time, and I would just post just my outfit inspiration. And as time went on, I kind of sort of developed the confidence to take pictures of myself instead of just those below the chin selfies all the way to the waist. And, I got part of different blogger groups. I got invited to events. I started taking more pictures of myself. And eventually I met this one guy on the train, blonde guy, glasses, nice suit. I was like, wait, is that Style Attorney?
No way.
And so, for those who don't know, Style Attorney, also Cloudy, one of my best friends till this day, he just decided to fuck off to the UK now because he got a better position, and I'm pretty sure he found friends to replace all of us.
Basically. We gotta eat pizza together, bro. Not your other friend, man. Come on.
And so, I remember DMing him and asking him, just to talk, coffee. You can see when someone appreciates the same thing as you, right? And so you connect kind of through your passions. And so I've connected with Claudio, and he eventually introduced me to James. And I remember the first thing I said to James was, man, you look like a fucking dick, but you're cool. But that's the thing. Jay has such this imposing energy to him. He walks into a room and you know that he's there. And I think that's super cool because I found basically another side of a coin of me. I had that energy, but it was more along the line of menswear. James was a lot more streetwear. And I remember back in the days, you wouldn't be wearing suits. You had every colors of J's. You had baggy pants. you were only wearing pure streetwear and pure hype wear.
Skinny jeans actually back then.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
And then
now
you
it's baggy.
transition.
Yeah.
And then eventually, you know, as we went on, we worked on different projects together. He was my creative director at our previous company. And unfortunately, you know, life goes on. He had different endeavors. I wanted to do different things. And so we separated. And then a few years ago, and then I think until recently, we always kept contact because we're best bros, you know. But until recently, James came up to me with Kevin. And I known Kevin since Cégep. And for all of you who don't know what Cégep is, it's basically those 2 years between high school and university in Quebec. I know the Quebec university system is really fucked, but let's not talk about that.
It's college basically. Or
It's
pre-college.
basic-
Pre-college.
yeah,
Pre-college.
basically. And so I met Kevin, but I never really interacted to him. In my head, he looked like he was trouble. He was like the devil incarnated from far away. Like you could ask a lot of people would say like, stay away from this guy. And I never really interacted with him. And I kind of felt bad because back then I was kind of a little shit. So I had preconceived notions on people. But now that I think of it, I should have given him the benefit of the doubt and just approach him. But so that's I think one of the main reason why when he approached me with Jay, I gave him the benefit of the doubt because, you know, at the end of the day, I never talked to you as a person back in Cégep. So I wonder what this guy has to say. And so the both of them started talking to me and they pitched me that idea. They said, Dany, and then they went on for 20 minutes to talk about a podcast. And then I was just nodding my head. They're like, so are you in? I was like, you got me at Dany. Yeah, I just let you guys ramble for 20 minutes.
It was the same exact thing for RXR, the previous company we had with Goody. We approached Dany and we spent an hour at Concordia University talking to him in a small room. And he's like, yo, you sold me 5 minutes ago.
Yo, you sold me like half an hour ago.
Just get rambling.
Yeah.
So Dany is always straight to the point. And
I'm very
he
straight to the
understands.
point. Honestly, my friends know me as a person that when you say, let's jump, I say, how high?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's always happy to help, you know, and I'm super grateful for that. You really saved us so much, you know, blood, sweat, and tears, and gave us so much knowledge and experience. Taught both of us how to podcast because, you know, our bum asses have never touched the mic before talking to Dany.
Yeah, I remember that first episode you guys sent me. That was a clusterfuck in a good way.
Yeah.
Because the ideas were there.
Yeah.
The banter was there. The technical prowess
It was
Yeah.
horrible.
to be improved.
We had
It was
no like
horrible.
podcast manners, we were stepping all over each other. You guys will see it in all the episodes. Like
You'll probably see it in the following episode. And
Yeah.
it's good because this is your official disclaimer.
yeah.
Don't click off right now. This is what we've learned throughout our journey as starting our own podcast.
Much needed disclaimer.
But I think the most important thing is like, what is KYP at the end of the day? You'll see us wearing a lot of the merch that we have. I mean,
I don't have it right
him,
now.
he's wearing the merch, Kev.
Show it proud, baby.
But I think the more important discussion is to kind of what in your mind do you feel KYP stands for?
Yeah. So for me, you know, kill your pride is kind of a statement that really made everything so clear for me when I was in that turbulent time where I just made a life-changing decision, right? And, you know, during our conversations when I came to James, he was, you know, he was hearing me out, he was consoling me and giving me advice. But through that, he was tapping into, you know, what he went through himself and, you know, to kind of relate to me. And through that process, he explained to me what Kill Your Pride meant to him, right? I think you were telling me, you know, when you were a kid, you would have all these, yeah, I think, you know, pick it up there. You know where I'm hinting towards.
Oh my God. What was the meaning again? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
So kill your pride. it says in it, it says it presents itself in an obvious way. It's to swallow your pride, in another word. Um, so it's really based on a fashion. So in fashion, when we're talking about when we're wearing clothes, like what Daniel was saying, you know, wearing a suit or wearing streetwear, wearing hype wear, it sort of creates this persona through nonverbal communication. So if Danny's wearing a really nice suit that's probably $1,200 or more, you know, you could tell, oh, this person is probably somebody. This person has probably a lot of money, and those thoughts when you're wearing that suit could also get to you. It could. So what I'm basically getting at is, you know, let's stop being pretentious. Because if myself and Dany stuck to our old ways of being pretentious, we wouldn't have this kind of communication of, you know, letting go of those barriers and actually talk to one another, and actually become friends. If I had just stuck to my ways, oh, you know, this guy's wearing a suit, it's not my vibe, then this would have never happened in this universe. But because, you know, we actually met through a friend and we actually started talking to each other, it's like, yo, you're dope. You know, you're a really nice guy. You have a lot of knowledge. You're so interesting. You know, let's hang out. Let's have a coffee. Let's have a drink. And that's how you create relationships. And kill your pride, in a nutshell, is letting go of your pride and actually, you know, make connections. You know, let's stop getting into our heads with all this bullshit materialism and actually just connect. And this is what the podcast is basically about.
Yeah, and like beautifully put, you know, that really sums it up. And, you know, it's kind of like, I think kill your pride to me means accepting yourself for who you are, and, you know, encouraging people to be themselves, but also very important, accepting others for being themselves.
Yes.
And, you know, for me, after that kill your pride conversation, in my head, everything just clicked. In the sense that, you know, for the longest time, everything in my life was dictated, you know, when I was making the decision to forego law school, thoughts that came through my head were like, you know, what will all the people I went to university think? What will all the people from CEGEP and high school,
it's all in your
you
head.
know, when I was saying, oh, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna go to get this degree, become a lawyer and stuff. For my whole life, I've been saying that it's kind of tied to my identity. But then when I started evaluating what that really was tied to, it's all other people's voices. My voice was nowhere to be found there. And
also, I mean, even so Kevin was telling me, when you were looking at my YouTube when I was in high school and you were like studying your ass off, you know, like those kind of feelings, the sort of, this guy is like doing his thing, fuck, you know, he's like,
yeah,
you know, he's such a try hard.
Yeah,
you know, you start to be resentful towards others because
they're not doing what you're doing.
Yeah, they're not following your path, right? But that's wrong. That's why there's so many miscommunication between each other. And I'm glad that you came to me after 26 years, and you know, you started to be open to new ways of, you know, finding yourself and having a career, right?
Yeah.
So what do you have to say about that, Dany? I mean, you're someone that I know has no pride.
Like you
Yeah.
embody this just by being you know, and that's what I always thought of you as well.
Yeah, honestly, for me, I firmly believe that I was put in this world to help people. And so very early on in my career, I've realized that, you know, you might be the smartest person in the room, but at the end of the day, or another analogy actually, is that, yes, you know, mentality, people and your surroundings ingrains and enforces this mentality that you have to be the king of the hill. You have to be the best of the best. But then you start realizing that once you're on top of that hill, it gets fucking lonely. You have nobody else. Everyone hates your guts because you threw them under the bridge. No one wants to talk to you because, like my dad said, is that, yeah, you might be the best of the best, get a good paying job. But at the end of the day, yes, you have a good paying job, but you are so poor that the only thing you have is money.
Ooh.
You have no relationship. No one wants to go to your fucking funeral when you die. You will never be remembered. You will be buried 6 feet underground because at the end of the day, as humans, no matter what you have done in your life, we all die. But then what you could do throughout your life is leave a legacy. Who do you want people to remember? You and what you have done for this world. So I've pretty much taken myself up to help as many people as I can. And a lot of people that I help, they say, dude, why are you so nice to everyone? Why do you help? In my mind, I believe that helping people at the end of the day is more, hey, I'm going to help you to do this, but I expect you that once you become big and nobody comes up to you asking for help, you will do the same as I did to you. And I think that kind of encapsulates the podcast. We don't want to bring people who are super successful. We don't want to bring, maybe we can bring successful people in so you can hear what it takes to get to a position. But at the end of the day, I feel everyone's opinion is very valid. We want to bring in normal everyday people in music, people in arts, people in business to come and talk about their experience for the podcast. Because every experience that people go through are different. And no matter how big you are, how little you are, your experience matters. And I think letting go of that preconception, that ego, that you are the best of the best, really encapsulates what we do as Kill Your Pride, is that we want to listen to everyone, but at the end of the day, to listen to everyone, we have to give up the fact that, yes, some of us are better than one another. Some of us might do better things than one another. We all have to be level-headed. And I think that's basically my point of view on Kill Your Pride, is just to stop being a dickhead, listen to people. People have cool things to say.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Wow.
Yeah. It really is. I think we've basically have this similar or the same like point of view.
Yeah. Damn, we on today, huh?
Yeah, no.
We on today.
We got a lot of practice.
We had a lot of practice. I'd say if you enjoy what we are talking about, you will definitely enjoy the following episode. This might be just a pilot episode, but tune in for the other episodes because we have cool guests. We have cool topics coming up. I think at the end of the day, we might sound decently
Dumb.
I want to say we sound like we have a vision, but at the end of the day, we're three waste men. Right now, we have no alcohol in front of us, and so it kind of sucks
This
at
is a
times.
sober one, actually.
This is a sober
our
episode.
first sober one. It's
Whoa.
One of our
changed, huh?
first sober episode, and that's why we have deep thoughts. But you'll see once the alcohol
clear-headed.
when the alcohol kick, we become dumb as fuck.
Yeah. So forgive us.
So forgive us. Anything you guys want to add about KYP, our origin, or something about our mission?
For me, I just can't believe, how much progress we've made in just 6 months. That's when we started it. And I'm very happy to be doing this with you guys. And can't wait to keep doing this for the rest of our lives.
James, closing remarks?
Yeah, so I'm really excited for everybody to listen in, tune in. I'm glad that, it's all love. We could really be ourselves on this podcast and really project that to the viewers, to the listeners. And I'm just really happy to be doing this. And you're going to see it's all love. It's funny. It's
Honest.
really informative. It's honest. Yeah. And you're going to learn a lot. You're going to have some laughs, some tears, Kevin. Tears. And
We're definitely not foreshadowing.
but it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're glad that you're listening in. Dany, can you please close?
Definitely. So I hope you enjoyed our pilot episode of Kill Your Pride. And I hope to see you guys tune in for our season number 1 and enjoy all the following episodes of this year. And as always, my name's Dany.
Kevin,
James.
And remember to kill your pride.
kill your pride, baby.